Royale. So Brad and Reiki Jones, Jupiter King TNT, not the duo that we would have expected, but Rich, actually seems like it's paying off pretty well so far.
Yeah, you know, the one thing about that, Andrew, is you see sort of the sequences that were being put together by Rad and Reiki Jones, and because of the arrows and some other factors, it did feel like it was a good situation for Jupiter King and TNT, and still they struggled. Still they let that balloon sneak on through.
Yeah.
That does make me a bit nervous for Tribe here in game number 3.
Yeah, I think that's a really critical thing that you're drawing our attention to, and that was, like I said, it seemed like a harder game for both of them to win. But yeah, TNT and Jupiter did seem to have a bit of a favorable matchup.
Lifetime win rate in Clash Royale League for TNT, 61%. 65 games won throughout his career. Jupiter King over just 2 seasons, a nice 68% clip. And it's been a phenomenal career for TNT. Would love to add that last piece of hardware. And that's the other thing, too, is so many of these teams, there's only one team here that has won a championship before. That's Nova Esports. Liquid not making the finals this time around. Although there is one more player who has a part of that hardware, and that's Sergio Ramos, who was a part of that Nova Esports organization for 2018.
Yeah, you know, and us being a part of Clash Royale League for as long as we have, it really puts into perspective the conversation that happens in international or national sports, right? Professional sports organizations, they always talk about rings and titles and trophies and how that really determines who the best in the world is. And I mean, you look at 3 seasons, and I think what you said really kind of drives it home. Only one team out of the 8 here have ever been here before, or have ever won before, and that's after 3 seasons. So getting to the top is really, really difficult to do.
Giant Skeleton to the left-hand side, Musketeer behind for Rad and Reiki. Will meet that Baby Dragon who's just outside of Princess Tower range. Aggressive early graveyard from Ponos, but their Giant Skeleton gets stopped right before the bridge.
Yeah, smart play there by TNT and Jupiter King, and that's the kind of stuff I believe, Rich, that you were talking you want to see more of out of Tribe, which is just really, really nice heads-up play, not getting favorable matchups, but just really being on top of interactions.
And there you go, Giant Skeleton to pick up the Musketeer one more time. 23-62 left-hand side as we go into the final minute of regulation. Royal Giant behind. And look at that Lightning play. The Lightning has been absolutely huge for Tribe Gaming in these last 2 games.
Yeah, they've been stunning with that Lightning, man. It's been really, really incredible. Now you're going to see a couple Royal Giant shots coming in. Great interaction there. Great first uppercut by TNT and Jupiter King.
30 seconds left in regulation time, and while the lead isn't really huge for Tribe Gaming, they have been the aggressors for most of this. And again, Fireball gets the Musketeer off. It's feeling very, very good for Jupiter and TNT right now.
Yeah, and it feels like a little bit of that comfort is slipping away from Rad and Reiki Jones. You know, so many times in games 1 and 2, we saw them kind of living in the future of their opponents' interactions. Game 1 paid off handily. Game 2, they were met with a pretty rough matchup. But here in Game 3, it does feel like Jupiter and TNT are playing as any great 2v2 duo would.
Keep an eye on how they defend here, though, Andrew. TNT and Jupiter King not running poison. Arrows take care of the archers. This could be a real problem, and you see how much damage comes in. Not running poison here, have to defend with troops. Archers a big part of that, and arrows come and wipe them off the board.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that you have to spend those troops on the back end to clean up those 1 HP skeletons means that on the front end, that Royal Giant that gets pulled in by your Fisherman has not enough DPS on it. So, like you said, play all that in the back, clean up the troops. Only problem is you got a Royal Giant way far away going to town on your tower.
Royal Giant goes to the right here and does not get pushed. We saw that same interaction being run by I believe it was Pain Gaming. It was Lucas and Wallace trying to use their Giant Skeleton to push the Royal Giant outside of the building to distract. Does not work here, and instead what looked like a great play for TNT and Jupiter King swings right back to Ponos.
And you see that, Rad and Reiki Jones